But I will tell you, out of all 190 boats that raced that same stretch of water, we were 107th.
Out of 190. Nice.
Yeah, we weren't even in the bottom 55.
Bottom
45. I don't know.
Open,
Bottom, top,
open,
cocks?
bottom, cocks, open men, open tops, bottom.
Are you
cocks.
recording this?
Yes, I am.
Hello, and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast where we talk about all sorts of geeky things, some of which we know a lot about, other things our knowledge is a little bit...
incomplete.
That's right. Here, hang on. I lost my train of thought. Thank you for listening. I don't know what number episode this is. I'm John, that's Nick. We are two variants searching for our own glorious purpose that we might have to just settle for a glory hole. Thank you for listening. We are talking today about...
That is so fucking good.
Oh, is it?
That is so good. Even the variants looking for their glorious purpose, I'm like, oh, that's good. Settle for the glory hole. That's
Settle for a glory hole.
brilliant.
I just came up with it. See,
almost as good as Cruel Hole to Fill.
Cruel hole to fill, yeah.
You'll never beat that one.
Always settle for the whole puns.
True. Yeah, that's great.
In case you know you're listening to what you're listening to because you clicked on this.
It says it up there.
We're talking about season 2 of Loki, the TV show, and coming out a bit later than usual because we took some time to watch it. I didn't need it. I watched every single episode as it came out on the day or maybe the day after.
Whereas I did not want to watch it because I didn't like season 1.
Yeah.
But I did.
You messaged me and said, do I have to watch every episode?
I just was like, I kept seeing things saying that along the lines of, the show was boring, but interesting finale.
Yeah.
And I messaged saying, can I just watch the finale?
And I said, no.
No. And having watched it, yes, I could have.
How you would have not? Okay, I don't know what I was thinking, but maybe I was hoping you would get something from it that I didn't get.
Because I know comics?
No, because I was so confused after the last episode. So basically, we're going to talk about the show. We're going to get into the nitties and gritties and titties and ass.
Titties and bitties.
Titties and bitties.
Of which there were none.
There were no titties. Nothing's anyway.
I'm gonna be quiet and let John do the talking.
I'll do some talking, but I need your input as well. So we do the same thing we did with the last episode, where we try to do non-spoilery things first. I think we could do it this time because reception to the Loki season as a whole has been quite warm.
This first one, I don't know about the second one.
The second season, people fucking loved it.
Did they?
They loved it. People.
Did they, or did they think that final scene with Loki was cool?
Both? I don't know. People. Here's the thing. Similar to Marvels, if you haven't listened to the Marvels episode, listen to it. It's great. Last episode. People only talking about the end credit scene. Generally. But this one...
in the Marvels.
In the Marvels, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But in this one, they're talking about the last episode, the last sort of 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
And not talking about the rest of it.
I wouldn't say interested to hear your opinion, but...
because you don't care.
No, that's the thing. I don't know what people got from the show. And... Because I got nothing from it. I watched it begrudgingly, and I got nothing from this show. And I don't know if it's because the show is badly written and garbage, or I just don't care about the character, any of the characters, and therefore my brain switched off and didn't really pay attention.
Yeah, it could be. So we'll talk about positive things first then.
I got nothing.
You hated everything about the show.
Nothing. I can't tell you one thing that was worth watching.
Ki Hui Kwan.
Meh.
No?
No, I found I'm gonna get killed. I've been so scared.
How dare you?
But like, no, he's a lovely person, I'm sure. But I found he's basically a grown-up Professor Jones kind of indie kind of character. He's this
short round. He's a grown-up short round.
He's this overly sweet, bumbling character, which he plays wonderfully. And I'm like, shut up.
Okay, so
again, see, let's let John talk because I just clearly didn't give a shit about this show, so I don't have anything good for you.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear. Tell me why you like this show. What did you like about the show, John?
Well,
tell me about the show. How was the show?
You know what? Of all the time we've talked about the show, I never told you that I liked it, did I?
Did you like it?
I didn't tell you what I thought about it.
Well, that's what we're here for.
But there were things
that's
about
what
the
the listeners
show.
want to know, John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they care about
what did you think?
Our opinion.
What did you think of the show?
I thought it was...
Yeah.
It had its moments.
Okay.
It had its dull moments. It was a bit meandery at times. It was confusing. The last episode confused the piss out of me. We mentioned it very briefly in a Geekery of the Weekery a few weeks back. After the first 2 episodes came out.
Oh yeah, I was asking, do I have to watch it?
I
think I was watching, do I have to watch it?
And I said that the first episode was a bit weird. The second one was a bit better because it talked about the characters. I liked it from a character... I don't know. Let's backtrack a little bit. I'm not sure what the answer is. I am so confused by this show. I don't know.
What did you like about it?
I'm not sure.
What would you why would you recommend it to someone other than we get to talk about it on a podcast now?
I feel like it was a good resolution for the character of Loki. And that's about all I can give it. Because basically this isn't even like the same Loki that was in all the films. This is a variant who's done his own thing. He's sort of being, he's in the first series, he's trying to figure out like what the TVA is hiding, what's really going on. Like we're all about that kind of journey. This second season, I never was really sure about the journey. And there's a kind of, I think the overarching theme of the second season was meant to be about this temporal loom exploding. But ever since the first episode, I didn't really care about that either. And it's similar to what we were talking about in the last episode about the threat.
In the Marvels, go listen
to the
episode now.
Listen to that episode and watch this film. And then listen to our episode.
Watch the film, listen to the episode.
Yeah.
But you listen to this one first.
Yeah, go back when you have time.
Yeah.
But the threat wasn't there. The stakes weren't there. I mean, the first episode was all about him time slipping, which I thought was resolved, just sort of, it was done with, and I didn't know why it was set up for. Then it turns out he can control it by the end, so it had a purpose, whatever.
Yeah.
But this whole temporal loom exploding, I didn't care as much because this threat was never really real. It was never sort of like, this is what happens if it blows up. We're just told, again, show don't tell, we're told that it would destroy the TVA. But we kind of wanted that to happen at the end of the series 1 anyway. We don't know why. We're just told that if that were to happen, then this Kang variant, or all of his variants, would come back and, it would wreak havoc and it'd be overall bad. Like, it wasn't... I couldn't get on with it. I didn't understand.
That's kind of what I thought about it. Like, it was... Again, I probably wasn't paying much attention, because I don't really like the Loki character. I didn't like season 1. I sure shit do not care about any of the other characters. Sylvie's fucking annoying. I can't stand any of them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They kind of kept like running around, stomping around, and she was dramatically talking about, oh my god, we have to do this. Oh, it's just everything's bad and terrible. And I was all the while, all 5-6 episodes going, what? What's happening? What's this threat? It was so nebulous and out there.
Yeah.
Which I understand is the concept because it's a bit of a wacky show and time and space variant, that sort of stuff. It was not at all present what was going to happen. They just kind of cryptically said, it's like, oh my god, everything's awful and this is the worst that will ever happen. What? Like, do you mean Kang at this point? Or do you mean like timelines or
the TVA
or
exploding?
something? And Again, was I just not paying attention, or was it just this bullshit? Like,
you raised an interesting point actually, because one thing I didn't realize is that this whole second season they didn't really talk. There's nothing about variants at all, except for the fact that everybody in the TVA is a variant. Like, okay, fine.
She's a variant of him.
Of him, yeah, which we kind of
which
forget
they kind of forget about because
but not
with a terrible fucking haircut. I fucking hate her hair in this show. It's awful mullet with a gobby face.
All right.
Ugh.
All right, Nicholas.
Awful.
Nick's nitpicks. Take a breather. We're just going to talk about...
Just give me something good. Tell me something good.
It's
like Jonathan Majors and his awful bullshit stutter for all the way through when it was flashbacked. Was it Ms. Minutes and I can't remember why she was suddenly evil? Was it Renslayer and I don't even remember what happened to her at the end of season 1 and now she hates everyone?
Oh, the end of season 1? I don't remember.
And now she hates everyone and she's the bad guy. And then what happens to her at the end of season 2? She's in some field in this purple light.
No, she's been proved. At the end of season 2, at the end of season 1, she goes through a door, she takes off and goes to find Miss Minutes or something. Or she takes Miss Minutes with her. She's gonna because the timekeepers have been exposed. She needs to go find her own purpose, I guess. I'm not sure. At the end of season 2, she gets pruned by I forget who, and she wakes up in the void. And so the purple light is meant to be Goliath coming to consume her, I suppose.
Oh, like in the thing with the guys and the thing. All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. And so that's kind of it for her. I'm not sure where that goes.
Who gives a shit?
But the thing is, if you're gonna build up, here's the main gripe, and I don't really like starting episode over the gripe, but the whole gripe.
I think that ship has sailed, John.
Yeah.
I think there's not much to say there. Go.
Is this gonna be a downer of an episode?
That's why I was like, I don't want to talk too much because I don't have anything positive, but it doesn't sound like you have much positive to say about it either.
Well, I was hoping that you'd watch and be like, okay, I get this.
No, it was shit. I was texting you every episode. This fucking show. I hate this fucking show.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad.
It was garbage. Nothing happened.
Then why do people like it so much?
I don't know. That's what I want to find out.
Okay.
I thought you might be able to tell me why you like this show.
Let's discuss. Where were we?
I don't know.
Talk about variants.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone's got a variant, and it's like, they don't really talk about where the variants are. They just say that you could be on the timeline. You could have your own life. It's a bit different than it was in the first season because every pruned branch, just sort of, every branch of the timeline is pruned. It's sort of erased to get back to the one sacred timeline. But then suddenly in this season, who was on that timeline is just dead. Like it's murder. I don't get it. Do you remember that? You don't remember that at all? It's like episode 2 or something, or 3.
Of this one or the first
of season 2. And it's like, oh no, she's pruning up the branches. Remember that general?
Yeah, but they were doing that in season 1.
Exactly. So I don't know what
it's like, oh, it's murder. It's like, yeah, you were doing that the whole time. It was part of
the process of the first season.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't get it. So
someone has to get it. Someone must have liked this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone who likes the show always talks about the last episode. And the last 10 minutes of him.
It's just him walking up the stairs with his horns on.
Put his horns on, he's grabbing all these timelines.
Cool.
Why he doesn't disintegrate like Victor Timely did the last 100 times he did it.
The only interesting, because all the memes that I've seen is suggesting that there are people now in the MCU that are replacing the Infinity Stones. And he's the Time Stone. Wanda's the Reality Stone. Which she is.
Okay.
They said Agatha is the Power Stone.
Because she's purple.
I was like, ooh, cute. That's why I watched 6 episodes of the show.
That's fun.
I could have watched just the finale.
What?
Just the finale.
I mean, if I'd known you would have hated it so much. Thanks for listening.
I got nothing.
Basically, okay. Let's talk about the finale because I think we can start there. whatever they've been doing the whole beginning of the episode, he goes back in time and learns how to run the TVA basically, and he makes it go faster, so they can get out there and fix it. They finally do fix it, and like this whole
and it's pointless.
build up, becomes pointless because like, oh no, it's just not going to be big enough no matter what happens. It's just going to keep expanding, and it took him that long, centuries apparently, to realize that he's got to do it himself. And I thought he with this whole. Well, here's one thing I did like. I did like the interaction when with Loki and He Who Remains when you find
at the end of time.
When you go back to the end of time, and they're talking about it's kind of like a rehash of that scene from the end of the first season, and that's interesting because now they're instead of He Who Remains dictating everything that's going to happen, Loki has some knowledge now, and they're playing off each other like, well, what about this? What about this? And that's the kind of stuff that matters in terms of the greater MCU because like this is going to have consequences, I'm sure. When Loki decides that I thought he's going to end up killing Sylvie because that's the only way they can stop it.
I wish he'd fucking kill Sylvie. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But then he decides to sacrifice himself instead. Okay, fine. But then he goes into that sort of room, and this is where it started to lose me a little bit. He goes in,
a little bit?
That door. I was coming along. I was like, I don't get it. Okay, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm making excuses for everything in my head.
Sure.
And then as soon as he opens the door, goes into that space that will spaghettify everybody if you don't have a suit on. But he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. Like, I don't, like, I can get...
He's the time stone.
Because he's the time stone. I can get that Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel's going to fly through a sun and reignite it. Like, okay, fine. It's a bit of a wishy-washy sort of hand-wavy thing. But this, it's like, if you've been... The last 3 episodes of this TV show, you've been showing that if you're not properly prepared, you die instantly. And it's meant to be a shock. He just does it and it's fine. He's fine.
What is this room?
This is like, I don't know. It's just like the...
Do they explain that and I wasn't paying attention?
I think all...
Because that's very likely.
Probably likely. All they say is that there's a lot of unrefined temporal energy. And the suit is going to, and the thing is, Loki needed a suit the first time he went in to fix it. And oh no, it wasn't him. It was Mobius. Sorry, never mind.
Oh, well, never mind.
But I guess because he's a god, he's fine. Anyway, so he goes through, he gets his suit back on, and it's a different kind of suit because it's sort of like raggedy with the green, but it looks cool. And his helmet.
Gets his horns, yeah.
As opposed to being like the gold ornate thing which you see in the first Avengers film.
Yeah.
So he's grabbing all these timelines, and I didn't get this, but someone said, oh, when he grabs it, it turns green.
Yeah.
He's instilling it with life.
Yeah, because they were dying, and now
they're not. Then he lets it go, and it dies again.
Does it die? Oh, so he has to hold on to them.
Exactly, that's why he has to hold on to them. I didn't get that.
Why, though?
Huh?
Why?
I don't know. Because.
Okay.
Because shut up.
Jesus Christ.
And so and then he somehow manages to open this sort of... He uses his Loki magic, whatever, witchcraft that he learned from his mom to open.
He has lots of magical powers.
Sure.
Loki has a lot of magical powers. That's fine. That's not the part of this show I'm having trouble with.
Fine, it's not the biggest deal, but he goes to see that the Citadel or whatever they call it at the end of time, when they first met He Who Remains. It was just a throne, which is what he's always wanted, is a throne, which he does talk about, and then Sylvie is like, oh, I know what he's doing. He's giving us a choice or whatever. And I'm like, fuck off.
Sylvie. Fuck off, Sylvie.
You can't just say that. You don't know what he's doing either. So then he climbs up. He's holding all these branches, and he climbs up, and he sits in the throne, and there's like his cape turns into timelines as well. And it turns into the shape of a big old tree.
That looked cool. I like that. Cool. The Asgardian tree thing.
Exactly. The Asgardian
Cute. I like that.
World tree. I'm like,
is it World Tree? Not Tree of Life. World Tree.
I think maybe...
Because like the 9 realms are in this tree. Sure. I like that. That was cute.
I think World Tree of Life is interchangeable, but it's got this Norse name which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Yeah. It starts with a Y.
Igr is Sirgastala.
That's the one, yes, exactly. Well done. Can't wait for the captions to come out for this episode. And he just sits there and he's got this big old grin on his face. He looks a bit old.
Yeah.
I'm like, the end, fine. I didn't understand what happened.
I don't get it.
And I was like, I shouldn't have to go to...
No. YouTube.
a
to,
Wikipedia page or a YouTube channel for someone to explain to me like
what
all
the
the
fuck
connections.
happened in this show? Yeah.
Which I have done since then, and I kind of get it, but at the time I was like, I don't get it, and that spoiled it for me.
Yeah. I don't get why. I know it's a bonkers, out there, abstract concept. The whole show is time is a thread and weird shit. Like I get it, but I don't get it, and it doesn't feel connected to anything he's done in that series. It doesn't feel like a journey that he's been on, a character growth. They spent 3 episodes running around the TVA, him flicking his fucking hair.
I love that though.
Every time he lands, he flicks his goddamn hair.
He must have whiplash by now.
And but no one's saying anything, and nothing no progress being made, and there's no
sort of like
clear cut.
Klaxons going off and red lights flashing, like alert, end of time happening, whatever.
They're trying to be vague and mysterious, and there's a twist. So much so that you spend 6 episodes going, what? What's going on? Why do I care? And
why do I care so much about this Victor Timely as well? Which we'll get to in a second. But
so annoying.
I get that his whole arc of this season was to save the TVA.
Okay.
But also, I don't know why. Because
why does he love the TVA?
Because he's afraid of Kang and his variants coming.
Is he though?
Well,
that's not. He's
that's
afraid
what we're told.
She kept asking him, and
Not
he was
shown.
like, "Oh, my friends are there." Like he just wanted friends. If that was his journey, he just wanted connections, and he wanted to make friends. And this is where he met weird friends. And he's like, "I will do anything for these weirdos that I bonded with." That would have been a good emotional journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
I don't see, feel, or get any of it. It's weird. And he had such a really good end to his journey in Infinity War. And now all this is shat all over that.
Yeah, it's different.
Because it's a separate... Yeah, but also that was a really good ending for this character and for this actor.
I don't think it was a good ending.
I do. Because even though he's a piece of shit and you hate him, he was still his brother, and he could still be heartbroken, and he still did try to do one good thing at the end, and he was killed for it. That is a journey that you go on through those films with him.
Yeah.
This show, I don't know what Loki's hair flip journey was.
Can we call it that? Hair flip journey.
And again, I'm like, am I just a bitch? And it's also given me a little bit of, not sympathy or perspective, but an understanding for these people who fucking hate the Marvels and Captain Marvel. Because if you cannot stand a character, if you find them annoying, hammy, cheesy, and you don't find them charming, endearing, or attractive, you don't care.
There's not much help.
If that character just falls flat on every aspect, whatever it is in what they're trying to achieve, you can't save it. So I understand that if you can't stand Carol Marvel, Carol Marvel's Captain Danvers, Brie Larson, if you can't stand that person, I judge you for that. But you'll hate that film. Yeah. You just don't care. The same way I don't care about this character.
Yeah.
I don't why this show wasn't going to win me over. Yeah. Because
I get it.
He's dramatically stomping around and breathing heavily and flicking his hair. I was like, shut up, I don't care.
Eating pie.
I like the green pie. What about the green pie?
Green pie's weird.
So I'm sorry, I have nothing other than that.
That's completely valid.
If people did like it, awesome. I didn't. I'm not sure if you could tell. If you picked up on these cues.
Really?
I didn't really like it that much.
Thanks for making that clear.
Sorry.
One thing I will say as well, like in a show that could potentially be about like timey weirdness, they don't really play with that a lot. I was watching it. Like going back in time, going to a random like branching timeline, so you should be able to play with the multiverse in this aspect.
They just didn't have the rights to the characters or the actors to show up.
Well, yeah.
So they,
But I
had,
mean,
they had to make do with like, here's this black chick and here's this guy from Indiana Jones, and that's it.
Yeah, but they didn't even use.
Who are they?
They didn't even look for those variants. I mean, there's one where they.
They did. He got all the variants.
Hmm.
He got them all back at the end, and then they died instantly. So what a fucking waste of time
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was.
I didn't.
What was the point of and what was the point of that?
Well, I was watching this. Okay, so
Someone tell me, please. Someone email and give me a 14-page critique of why you love this show. And
or less.
What am I missing? Am I just being a snotty bitch? Please tell me.
Maybe both are true.
True. That's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's undeniable. I am a snotty bitch.
Oh, for sure. But if that's the reason why you hate the show,
But is that the only reason I can't stand this show?
there's too much show, don't tell. Instead of
The other
sorry, there's too much telling in that
and they
show.
don't show.
Because
It's just
I
they're
mean,
just talking about this nebulous thing. It's like, make us go on this. You have all this money and all this CGI.
yeah.
Let's go on. What journey do you want to go on?
How different would it have been if in the first episode, in addition to him time slipping or whatever, like the loop does blow up? I'm like, why not? It's a show about time travel. Like, fucking make it blow up then. And then
Because that was the stakes.
Yeah, now we know what the stakes are. If you don't succeed in your goal, then it will blow up for realsies this time or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think again, I may not have been paying attention. I don't think I got that was what the stakes were. That, like, this will blow up, and then what?
Well, then, like, it'll blow up any minute now.
And then what?
We'll take 4 episodes to find Victor Timely who can help us get into it.
I didn't even, I didn't think I realized. It was just like, oh, this is awful, something bad's going to happen. And even Kang is like, he's terrible, everything bad, he's bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
How do we know that?
How do we know that? We as the audience.
Do we know that?
We as the audience only know that because of
Quantumania.
Exactly.
Kill me now.
But there's no
Fucking children.
But there's no reason for them to know that either because because Loki, the only thing that he talked about it. The only person he talked about it with was He Who Remains.
Yeah.
And like he can't. Was he just supposed to convey how awful it would be to everybody else?
In that, like, the finale of season 1 where they go to that.
Because he comes back, he gets, kicked through the time door by Sylvie, and he shows up and no one knows who he is. And we're led to believe that it's because that time has changed. But right away in the first episode, we realize they've changed it. And they're like, no, it's just going back in time.
Oh, yeah, because when it opened, season 2 opened, and they did like, oh, there's the crack on the floor. It's like, oh, I'm in the past. And then the He Who Remains things like, ooh, maybe this will be interesting. Turns out, no.
No.
Turns out, no.
And there's that one thing in the first episode where he gets pruned, which is what he needed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
To get saved. And
then shows up through
the mystery is like, oh my gosh, who was it that pruned him? And instantly, Tom, who I watched it with, he was like, he pruned himself. he's stepping through time. Like,
did we not see that the first time around?
You do it like see episode 3. Like, it's not even a mystery for very long. It's just we see him do it in episode 3, whatever. Maybe 4, I'm not sure. And
Can you imagine how cool it would have been to take that concept of like looping time and things already in place that you would need to go around and put in place, Back to the Future style?
Yeah.
That's such a fucking cool show.
It's like Bill and Ted, basically what they did.
I don't remember Bill and Ted, but I remember.
They do
but,
that.
you know, like where you go around and then you see this thing in the background because then that's the thing, and then you see them going over there and that's the thing in the background. That would have been great. Why didn't they do that instead of running around flipping your hair?
Yeah, they did it a little bit in the last episode as well, but only again he says hello and he sees himself as like hello, and then he looks and then just time flips away, and then like less than a minute later he's on the other side being the person who's someone he hears someone say hello and he looks over and you're like, okay, fine. Time, why are they not?
And Sylvie was in McDonald's in the Midwest.
She was happy.
But I don't get it. I don't get.
She just wanted a normal life and to be happy and give people burgers and.
I will say after watching that, I did really want McDonald's.
Yeah.
Fries and a milkshake.
I wanted chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce.
I really wanted, because they do like a really good giant fuck off milkshake. That's one thing they do really well.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of want it now. No. I don't know what they were trying to do, and if people enjoyed it, I don't know how they did, but I'm sure people did, right?
I mean, I'm sure people did. Like, I watched it with an interest, with a curious interest, But then, again, with Tom, he was like, I love that time flipping shit. It's great. I love, the quick readings of it.
Did he like it?
And they didn't do that in this season. Like, he watched season 1 by himself because I'd already seen it. And he was like, yeah, it's great. And then season 2, he was just a bit miffed. He was just a bit sort of confused, like I was. I was like, I'm not sure what just happened.
What just happened? What was the point of this?
If I have to go to, they say, oh, he's now the god of stories. That's what lies are. There's stories anyway. And he, but I'm like, that's not in the show. Like, it's not explained in the show.
That's headcanon. You're
So
just making up whatever you want to make sense of this crap.
Exactly. And he's like, now he's the god of stories. He's on his throne, which he's always wanted a throne, okay? But he's done it to sacrifice himself. Ugh, I don't know. I'm really struggling to make heads or tails of this and like why people liked it so much. I'm really sorry.
Well, I feel a little bit less of a bitch if you can't quite figure out why someone would enjoy this. At least I don't feel like I'm just being a brat and not paying attention. But I don't understand. It's like, because you're on your phone. Like,
true. Yeah, you are a bitch though. But like also like I would be happy to go along with the journey of this character if they were to go through some sort of emotional journey like we were talking about, or some sort of struggle that they have to overcome. But it's not.
One that made sense and one that we followed.
Yeah, but who am I going to follow in this one? I'm not really understanding why he needs to save TVA. Go find Sylvie. The first task was to find Sylvie, and then they find her, and they're like, okay, she doesn't want to come with you. And he's like, okay, fine, bye.
What the fuck?
And then they have to find Victor Timely. I'm like, okay, fun. He's basically the cameo. Like, fun cameo, which lasts for like 3 or 4 hours, the episodes that he's in. And I actually thought I think he's a decent actor. I think he's acting really well.
I hated that, the bumbling, which, it's revealed that it's the same guy? Like, it was fake, it was an act he put on, or it was a variant?
I think it's a variant.
Oh, well then he's shit, because that was awful. That was so fucking annoying. Look at me, I'm this gorgeous, sexy, ripped guy, but I have glasses on and I stutter. Fuck off!
Yeah,
that was atrocious. You don't have the chops for this, dude. Like, but when he's Kang, when he's the smug asshole at the end, I'm like, cool, alright.
When you see He Remains, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I see what you're saying. There's ways you can play timidity without having to have
so
a physical
heavy-handed. Ugh. No. Didn't care for that. It was just distracting. I didn't care for any of them. Who was your favorite character?
My favorite in this show?
Yeah.
The hot one. The hunter who's an actor in like old time.
Yeah. He's got a journey. It kind of makes sense. Oh, that fucking Scottish bitch from Game of Thrones was in it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's like, this must be the way it is. Why? But what?
Why?
But what way is what is what? And it was just so shouty, but not doing anything. That's a terrible
argument because like we've already broken down this is the way it is because that was what it turned out not to be in the first season. So why are you still even here?
And also, why am I listening to you? Oh, I just. Oh. So is Disney Plus responsible for the decline in the MCU's quality?
Is it the MCU or is it the TV show's quality?
But that's the thing.
Or both.
I think we didn't discuss this in the Marvels episode, but one of the reasons that people may not have gone to see the Marvels is because they're like, I haven't watched all the TV shows. We were telling you to make sure Tom watches WandaVision. You should have watched Ms. Marvel to make sure they know all this sort of thing. A lot of people will be like, I don't know who these characters are. I haven't seen. I haven't watched 10 apples and that. So they wouldn't try.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted to make these extra stories and have this interconnected stuff has only, apart from WandaVision, which was a delight because they did that right and the film fucked it up. Everything else is just making this boring TV shows, which then make everyone not give a shit, and then make other people who haven't watched the boring shit be like, it's too much. It's too much now.
Yeah. I don't think it's too much. I think it's because they feel like they're going to miss out. It's become
I bet you a lot of people didn't go and see this because they're like, I don't know who that character is because she's watched in this show, which I didn't watch. I don't know who that character is because she had her own show and I haven't watched that. So, and...
It's a hard soap opera to keep up with.
And also... going to be out on fucking Disney Plus in like a month.
Yeah. Is that still the argument?
But it probably will. Look what happened to Black Widow, because they will put it out so soon.
Well,
People are like, I'm not going to spend £20. I spent £20 to see the Marvels because I saw it in that weird like 4X screen where it's on the side of the walls too. Really fucking fun.
Really?
Go watch it. It was weird because you like see them like stretch out.
I mean, we spent like £7 each.
Okay, I went to like the big Cineworld, but no, like normally it's like £11-12 to go to the cinema. They're not going to do that for something they're like, I don't know what this is. Trolls on the internet say it's shit. I don't know the characters. I've lost track of the Marvel universe. I don't really care anymore. It's not right, there's a film and then another film. There's 2 a year. Ooh, little teaser. It used to be this fun interconnected thing that they spread out, this sort of stuff. And when Disney Plus launched, it's just this barrage of bonkers shit that most people aren't watching.
Well, that is...
It just cuts out casual fans.
Yeah.
It ostracizes them.
Because I think you're right, because that is the nature of a TV show. It's like, I think...
Not that any of these TV shows have been actual TV shows.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's a point as well. Is,
Hawkeye? Hawkeye was kind of a TV show.
Huh?
I liked Hawkeye. It was stupid. Just because of Yelena. But anyway, sorry.
Well, even the Hawkeye was like...
Yeah.
What am I trying to say?
But
there's like an episode about Yelena. There's an episode about...
Kate?
Kate. Well, the whole thing's about Kate. I don't even know what I'm saying. Tangent, never mind. But like, She-Hulk as a TV show.
Yeah.
Which I didn't hate. But there were episodes...
I liked it, but I understand why people didn't.
But there were episodes that were shit. And like...
The CGI was...
And the CGI.
Was real bad. For a character that was CGI, you can't phone that in.
Yeah.
Because they had 4 fucking TV shows being produced at the same time.
There's better CGI in Loki than there was. Well,
absolutely.
Spaghettification.
Yeah, I think the CGI.
But
that's something about Loki. The CGI was very good in Loki.
We should have started with that. Yeah, it was actually.
That's all I got.
Great effects.
Very good effects.
Because there weren't that many, and they had the time. So basically, like She-Hulk is an example where you have episodes where you could easily miss one. Like you could. There's still a bit of a through line, stories, whatever, but it didn't try to do anything other than that. Like there's episodes about this silly court case, or this court case, whatever, or Daredevil, or whatever, and it's like fine, it exists, and then there's like an end of the season episode which kind of tied it all together.
Sure,
and I think it did it very well. I like She-Hulk in that way, but like Falcon Winter Soldier, long TV show.
Not a TV show. Really long, boring film.
Long,
boring film cut into pieces.
Secret Invasion.
Secret motherfucking invasion. Long, boring film.
One long film could have been a film. And like, I didn't realize that was the thing. That was a complaint about all these TV shows until I was watching Secret Invasion. I told you, this could have been a fucking film.
Should have been a fucking
film. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that...
So Loki's in season 2. I did tell you as well, it's okay, it has its moments. This is in a text. It's okay, it has its moments, but it does fall into that trap of being just it could have been a film.
It could have been a 15-minute mini episode. It could have been a Splinter What If episode.
What if Loki season 2 was just a film? And they just said...
What if it was just one episode of What If? We could have been done in 20 minutes. We could have been done in 20 minutes. Tell me we couldn't.
You couldn't.
Why? What journey
There's too much going on.
Time
slipping.
But what goes on that's relevant?
Loom, you gotta find the Victor Timely variant. You gotta find that.
Do you need to find you do not need to find the Victor Timely variant.
Yes, you do, because he's the only one who can open the doors.
Oh, shut up. That's just a made up problem. Just have this. That's so pointless. Pointless.
Yeah. Film. Could have been a film. Should have been a film.
Should have been a 22-minute.
And the thing is, like, you have...
Would you like the What Ifs? Because it's
I'm looking forward to the
Me too. Because it's a TV show that's not... It's just being a TV show.
Yeah. There's episodes that you could easily skip. But then at the end of the season, hoodwink, haha, you should have... No, there's a through line. Anyway. So...
That's kind of what my point is, that, like... They had this idea, post-COVID world, and because of the streaming wars, they're like, we need to cram all this Marvel stuff so people can never cancel their Disney Plus, and they make more money from that than we can possibly imagine. And all the efforts went into that. Mm-hmm. Of a hit-miss ratio of God knows what. I think two or three kind of hits, maybe, to everything else not.
Well, that's the thing.
And then having the add-on effect of
we want
people not seeing
so
the
much.
people not seeing the films because they're overstimulated, they think it's too much, they won't bother with it. But also a lot of it has been bad, so people's like, oh, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered for something I didn't like. The first Captain Marvel's like, I'm not gonna watch it. It's like Secret Invasion. You know, it's tarnishing the reputation of up until Endgame pretty consistently good. And they
For
didn't,
the most part.
and then it all fell apart.
It was a risk. It was definitely a risk to do TV shows.
You either, after something as big as Endgame, you either go bigger, which is what they did. They threw everything. It's like, here's a show about Echo. Who? Or you go like, right, let's fucking chill out. Or do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think now, after this, which is sad that it's the Marvels that's bombing, that they're like, we can't do this anymore. We have to just make good fucking films.
Figure out a new strategy.
Yeah. Because it was the streaming wars, and they had to have a premiere every 6 weeks. There was a new show coming out.
Something like that, yeah. But I'm a nerd like that. I'm a geek like that. Like I got a Disney Plus membership when WandaVision came out.
Of course.
Because I tried to download it, and it was not good. I was like, no, I'm just gonna fucking get it. You can have my money. But I wasn't watching Netflix or like Amazon or any of those other ones. It wasn't like I needed to. Well, maybe that's the point. I'm not getting that money, but I am getting Disney money.
You sure are.
Oh, I guess that's the point. But also, I've been watching all sorts of stuff. Like all the stuff that my family in America talk about on Hulu. We don't have Hulu over here. All that Hulu stuff is on Disney. So it's worth it. For me. And like, I don't need the constant Marvel content because I have enough stuff to watch.
I don't need more. We never talked about Ahsoka or any of the Star Wars stuff, did we?
Well, that's going to be all you because I've never seen any of those.
Oh, I can't carry that.
But yeah, of course, because all the Star Wars stuff's on Disney as well.
Yeah, you would have thought it'd be great, but I feel like Disney Plus was the fucking killer of... Actually, no, I think the Star Wars stuff has performed really well.
Yeah, because Andor was received
really well. What's his face? Ewan McGregor's one was really good.
Oh yeah, I watched that one.
Obi-Wan was really good. Ahsoka was beautiful.
Is it still
Not
on?
great. Yeah, well, it's on Disney Plus.
I mean, like, is it episode? Is it like? No, it's episode every week, or is it all at once?
It was weekly, but it's finished now.
Oh, okay.
Not the best show ever, but it was beautiful. Like the graphics, at points I was like, "This is so fucking good!" Just beautifully executed. So I don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're doing their stories, their 6 episodes, but also
I'll tell you the difference. I'll answer that question. They're doing a story that you don't have to have seen the previous stories to enjoy.
That's true.
Like you can watch Ahsoka and not have seen Andor or.
That's true. That's what I did. Yeah. Also, their franchise obviously has been going a hell of a lot longer than the Marvel ones, but with like a 20-year gap in between.
Yeah. Well,
they're not under the same pressure
to
produce this butt ton of content. So maybe that's what the future of the MCU will be like. It's like, let's chill the fuck out. Let's get rid of some of these shit projects, get the X-Men in, and then there we go.
Well, I do hope they still do it.
Basically, every episode is just me saying, just bring back the X-Men. Guys.
I was going to say, we didn't mention the X-Men in the previous episode, but we
sure did. We sure did. I got nothing else.
So, dear listener, if you have anything to add or comment or have any questions for us, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Our email is incompletegeeks. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at this episode. And this episode is just me ranting beyond words.
I tried to bring you in, but I couldn't because I was not that far from you. I just,
Nope.
incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com. You can also contact us on Instagram or TikTok. Our handles there are @incompletegeeks. While you're there, like our stuff, give us a follow. Give this episode a 5-star rating because if we know you love hearing me bitch about.
But do you? Because do you agree? Am I kind of right? If I'm a little bit right, give us a 5-star review.
Let us know.
Follow this for more bitchy rants. If you want more bitchy rants,
why was Loki good?
Yes, please. Someone please educate me because I don't know.
Educate us.
Educate both of us because maybe we missed something.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not complete geeks.
But we are working on it.
I promise we are.
We are.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye. You know, well, we can go on forever now.